Welcome back. Welcome back. We have week 2 of our debate series, This or That. The boys are here in numbers, here strong on this fine Monday night. Today we're talking about a topic. Do the Inquisitors break the rule of 2 in Star Wars canon? I don't know exactly where everybody's going to land on this, so I think we're just going to riff a little bit. Does anybody want to start on the side of they do break the rule of 2?
They break canon. Or not break canon. They just break the rule of 2.
Why?
They're dark side force wielders that are trained by the Sith. Like, what is the difference? That's a Sith apprentice, basically.
But they don't follow Sith dogma. They don't follow the rules of the Sith. They're just they're errand boys.
Give me the rules. Give me the rules. List them out right now. I'm gonna tell you.
I mean, I don't know if I know specifically off the top of my head.
Yeah, you don't know. You just misspit words. Come on.
But I know for a fact that they don't follow the same principles, and they're literally errand boys. And there's been Stone. You want to drop the hammer on them?
Okay, but would you say that Inquisitors are assassins, basically, like personal assassins or hitmen, relatively?
They're literally just cleaning out the galaxy, and then once their job is done, they're just going to be murdered by Darth Vader or Emperor Palpatine or cast aside. So they're not actually legitimate Sith. They're quite literally just errand boys.
Okay, but would you classify them as having the role of an assassin, basically?
Yeah, that's my exact point.
Would you also say that Asajj Ventress takes on the role of an assassin, or
Stone? Is this where you were going to?
I mean, what you're basically saying is like someone like Ahsoka, who's not a Jedi anymore, that has a lightsaber and fights for good. She's a Jedi now.
No,
that's an awesome point.
Exactly. So how are these Inquisitors Sith? They're not
because Ahsoka doesn't follow the rule of the Jedi. I've yet to hear a rule of the Sith that I need. All right,
so hold on a second. Let me ask you a question.
What do you?
If they break the rule of 2, does Savage Opress break the rule of 2? Does Asajj Ventress break the rule of 2?
That's exactly what I was doing.
I think Asajj Ventress does. I don't know about Savage Opress. I think Asajj Ventress does because technically, what's his face? Dooku was Palpatine's apprentice, and he also had Asajj as his apprentice. That's 3 right there.
You guys are just missing the point, though. Those are enforcers. They're not learning actual Sith. Like the Sith
Ventress 100% was.
The Sith order that goes
literally.
Dooku has referenced her as an apprentice multiple times.
It's a secret apprentice. That's different.
But she's not. But no, she's not a secret. She's not a secret apprentice though, because Dooku does
Palpatine also knows who she is.
Palpatine knows exactly who she is.
100% is an apprentice.
But my point is more so that are we going to take Matt and Rob versus Sidious? Who understands the rule of 2 better? I don't know. I'm going to have to go with Sidious on that. So if Sidious is going to employ people like Asajj Ventress, then he can also employ people like Inquisitors to do his bidding. This isn't this is such a no-brainer for me. I understand a little bit of where you're coming from, the fact that they have red lightsabers, but that's such a casual take that they're just enforcers. I don't know how else to say it. Boys are enforcers. Rob's looking at his phone, pulling out points.
I'm gonna read off the Sith code for you, and you tell me if they don't do this. Just tell me if they just say no, they don't do that. Okay. Pieces alive.
Let him read it.
Pieces alive. There's only passion. You can't say Inquisitors don't follow that. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. What in the Sith code?
Is that a poem?
It's the Sith code. What is it? What in the Sith code is poem? Inquisitors?
You pulled up a haiku as your point.
That's the Sith code.
I know, but I'm just saying, look.
Can you confidently say Asajj Ventress is fully trained in the dark side? Can you fully say that?
Yeah, I would say confidently she's definitely trained in the dark side.
Watch the Clone Wars again, because she's not. And it's referenced many times she's not.
They're not.
And she's not going to be able to. She's not taught certain things because she's not in the 2. There's a certain thing only the 2 know. And that's what makes them a Sith, though.
That's fine. But I'm saying the whole rule of 2 thing to me is a master and apprentice. That's the baseline of it. You can't have multiple apprentices down the totem pole. And who do you think trains these Inquisitors?
There's not multiple apprentices. That's where I'm confused.
Duke.
They're an apprentice. They're literally an apprentice. Like
they're not an apprentice.
They teach them. They teach them the ways.
Do you guys not remember early on? Oh, no, that was before the rule 2, actually. So never mind. That would contradict my whole statement.
No, I know where you're going with that. That's not accurate. But we're talking about so what they essentially are bounty hunters.
I'm not disagreeing with that
in the beginning, but
they
like,
are still technically
they're still
apprentices of these Sith of the Sith. Like,
just because they're force wielders with a red lightsaber doesn't make them a Sith. They're literally so you're Vader.
They're
and
dark side force wielders. They're dark side force wielders.
You're Vader and you're Sidious. Okay, I need to exterminate all these Jedi. How am I going to do that? Am I going to send some bounty hunter with a gun who's not Cad Bane? No. Or blaster? No, because they'll immediately get killed. Let me finish. I'm going to go take all these ex-Jedi, people who hate the Jedi Order, for whatever reason that may be. We're going to give them
train them.
No, I didn't. Matt said train them. We're going to give them a little.
You're trying to dance around training them. You're going to say,
we're going to give them a little bit of. We're going to give them how to do. We're going to give them a little equipment. We're going to send them on their way because they're the only ones who can do the bidding that we need them to do. And then after they're done, they're immediately discarded.
Dude,
they're bounty hunters. They're literally bounty hunters.
I know. So you're saying the fact.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I think they do the same tasks as a bounty hunter. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying that training an apprentice as a Sith, if you're not 1 and 2 and there's below that, that's literally breaking the rule of 2.
I hate to say this, but they're acolytes. No, I'm just kidding.
Happy birthday, balloons, we just won that.
Yeah,
we just won that shit.
Someone pressed that.
Thank you, StreamYard.
That's not what happens.
But you guys are forgetting this. It's like a religion, though. They're not teaching them everything about it. They're just teaching them how to do the bare minimum to be a brute enforcer or assassin, like we just talked about.
Okay, but do you like it's the same thing as like
you still haven't answered the whole Ahsoka thing.
Jedi Masters no
I love that point.
You still
I already answered the Ahsoka thing. Ahsoka doesn't follow the rules of the Jedi. You haven't proven me a single point of a rule that they don't follow.
And how do they follow the rule of the Sith?
Then he's going to be a point of the, give me a point. Give me a point.
No,
a rule of the Sith they don't follow.
Give
me a rule of the Sith they don't follow.
They fight using anger.
So they knew about Order 66 then. Yeah, they knew about everything, right? Yeah. No, they didn't.
I'm sure they did.
They're not in the 2.
I'm sure they did. There's no proof they don't. There's no proof they don't know about Order 66.
There literally is. Darth Maul had no clue about it. He just had a feeling.
We're not talking about Maul. Maul did so out of this. We're not even talking about Maul right now.
But Maul literally in Rebels calls them Sith pretenders.
That's fine.
Maul's not a Sith.
I'm not.
Maul's not a Sith. So you can't even. Maul's not even.
But he's someone who's learned actual indoctrination and was a legitimate Sith at one point before he was defeated. He's literally saying. So again, are we going to take Darth Maul's word for it, or are we going to take Rob's word for it? He's literally saying that they're Sith pretenders, which is both of our points on the bottom of the screen.
So Maul was a
Sith at that point.
Maul was a Sith at one point. You're saying that, correct?
That's 100% accurate.
And who is his master?
Sidious in episode 1.
So like,
what are we talking about?
You guys are
missing
like
the Dooku
point.
Fall in those lines? Doesn't Dooku
because
fall?
When Maul died, that's when Dooku was brought in, or not died, but when Maul was defeated, that's when Dooku comes in Tales of the Jedi.
Finn, this is what they're saying. They're basically saying using the light side of the Force and being trained to use a lightsaber makes you a Jedi. That's what they're saying right now.
That is so wrong.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Matt specifically is trying to push.
That is not at all what I'm
wrong.
trying to push. I said that anyone that uses the Force doesn't have to be qualified as Sith or Jedi. The fact that my whole point is that if you are a Sith and you are, say, 1 or 2, and you have multiple apprentices, or you go down the totem pole and train someone else,
they're Inquisitors, though. They're not Sith. They don't have a Sith title or a Darth title.
They don't. The rule of 2, though, it's an apprentice. If Dooku killed Sidious, who becomes the second person? Asajj Ventress. Or if that ended up happening, it's 2 people there, and you're having a third one to take that mantle. I know that you don't go and you always have that backup plan as the apprentice to the master. I get that. But at the same time, you can't be prepping someone to be your apprentice and be a part of this rule of 2 we keep talking about without having the third person there. Or you need I brought
up Asajj, though, in just like a totality thing, but they're very different. And maybe I shouldn't have done that in the way I did. But if you want to get really technical, it simply comes down to this. Were they sworn in under Sith code as Sith? No. They were not. So at the end of the day, we
What's
could argue.
what's the Sith code?
But that's not what I'm saying. Look up.
You don't even know it.
I just read
it. I just read it, and you said it was a haiku.
At this point, if you want to go ahead on your phone and you want to look up if they were sworn into the Sith or not, I think that could end the argument right now. Look it up. Because then if they're not sworn into, look it up right now. I'm actually not sure about this, but look it up.
But like, if you're telling me right now you don't think that Asajj Ventress is a part of the Sith as a whole, you're an idiot. Like, you're just lying to yourself.
No, she's a part of the Trade Federation's bigger plot.
No, she's a part of the Sith. She's getting trained by a Sith.
She's not. She was never sworn in. This is where the technicality comes in, and it's a very thin line to walk. I understand that, but you're saying the rule of two. Okay, all right?
So actually, no. Hold up a second. You're basically saying that this rule of two, if you go down into the actual depths of how this whole Trade Federation thing you just spoke of is formulated, you have your masters. So on both sides,
was General Grievous a Sith?
No,
he's not a Force wielder.
That changes.
All right, let's start. Ready?
I just got the top line here. Matt, let me end this real quick because Finn told me to look it up, and I looked it up, and it just answers our question here.
No, it doesn't.
In the Star Wars universe, becoming a Sith involved training under a Sith master and either dying to or killing your master. So you said they get killed afterward, which claims here training under a Sith and dying to them makes them a Sith. So that just answers the question right there.
That's not what I asked you to look up. I asked you to look up if they were sworn to the Sith.
But they're not a Sith. They're still not learning. They're still not learning how to be a Sith. They're an Inquisitor, Rob.
They're learning how to kill Jedi. That's it. They're not learning.
They know maybe 1/100th of what they know. Like they're not powerful.
Just let me finish real quick. The whole argument here was
I don't think it's about power.
Do Inquisitors ruin the rule of two?
And
the rule of two is that there can only be two Sith. And what we're saying is we're not saying they're Sith. We're not saying like, oh, they're named Sith this, like a Sith Lord this. But they're saying they're the same exact thing as Sith, though. They're the same exact thing, which is what ruins the rule. Just because they don't get a title and you're the same exact thing.
That you're not saying
the same exact thing without the title.
I asked you to look up were they sworn in, and I just looked it up as well. The Inquisitors are dark Jedi, dark side Force users that are not Sith and haven't been initiated into Sith traditions. That's the first thing that comes up when I asked you to look up.
That's going to come up because that's what Star Wars wants you to think. The thing we're saying is it ruins the rule because they're literally trained the same way. They're just not given the title because Star Wars knew they fucked up. So they couldn't be like, oh, I can't
wait. I can't wait for chat. I can't wait for chat to come.
Chat's going to come in fire. I can't
wait for.
Matt and I are going to win this. Matt and I have this in the bag. I already know.
I
have this in the bag.
No. We'll wrap this up with this last point. To be honest, like the chat will probably agree with Finn and Stone. However, points made in this video are by far and away to me and Rob.
Because our chat is base, dude. Our chat has a ton of sex and they know what they're talking about. They're base. Look,
dude. All I know is I think we're 2. I think Matt and I are 2-0 right now.
I actually hope they have the most sex.
2-0. That would be awesome. After arguing that battle pack shouldn't look.
Boy, haiku.
Look at the comments. I won the last one. Battle pack one.
Those people, that chat, those were virgins. This chat are Chad. This chat is Chad. Look. It's a very technical argument, and we're, like I said, walking a really fine line. I think it's one of those things that a wind gust could push it either way. But if you want to get really technical with definitions, they're not Sith, and the argument's over. But in order to break the rule of 2, there would have to be more than 2 Sith. And you just said 5 seconds ago, we're saying they're not Sith, but they're trained as Sith.
It breaks because they are Sith. They are Sith. They're just not named Sith. They are the same exact thing, though. Is what I'm saying.
Clip it and let chat decide.
We're talking in circles.
I think the main premise that me and Rob are trying to make is you are being trained by a Sith that puts you in the Sith religion, in a way. The same way that everything else happens. But that's it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe.
So if you're trained by